All right. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, July 14th, 9:51 a.m. in the East. It is the first day of the All-Star break, and we are back on Baseball and Coffee with another episode. Was not around yesterday. Had to go to Tyler Hill summer camp and do some baseball stuff out in rural Pennsylvania. So I was driving a couple hours there all day in the sun, driving a couple hours back, so I wasn't able to get the show in, which was unfortunate because there were some great performances 2 days ago, including somebody I was dead wrong about, Mr. Garrett Crochet, who I said maybe he was getting a little tired, he really needed the break. What's he do? He says, Ottavino, shut up. I'm going to throw a complete game shutout anyway. But I think what we should do is we should check what's brewing in baseball as we get into the second half here after the break, and we will go over to the main screen where I have the standings loaded up. And now that we have the standings loaded up, let me just make sure we're streaming. Yeah, we're streaming. All right. American League East. It's getting really interesting as we go into this break here. Something feels off about this. I think I need to reload this page. Yeah, there it is. All right. Blue Jays 2-game lead over the Yanks, only 3 over the Red Sox, who've won 10 in a row. Red Sox are back. It's kind of crazy how they're back, but they are back. They've won 10 in a row. They've crept into this thing. They've made it interesting. I know they beat up on the Rockies a little bit, and the Rays, who are kind of drawn back, but they're right back in it. They are 3 out of the division lead. I don't know. It's a little early to look at wild card standings, but they would be in there right now if the playoffs started today. So all those Red Sox fans that kind of left them for dead, they're back. AL Central, Tigers, Minnesota, 11.5 back. I think Minnesota has a good team. I'm surprised that we're going into the break and they're 2 games under 500. Detroit, obviously way ahead, doing their thing. Houston, 5 up on Seattle. I think that's going to turn into a pretty good race. Houston, they have the pedigree, obviously, but I don't love their roster compared to years prior, so I'll be curious to see if they can hang on. Phillies, half game over the Mets as we head into the break. That's going to be an absolute dogfight the whole way. Cubbies leads down to 1 over the Brew Crew and 6.5 over the Cards. Reds hanging in there, 7.5. They're over 500, so can't count them out. They have a lot of really good young players. Dodgers 5.5 over the Pods, 6 over the Giants, and that's where we sit headed into the All-Star break. I wanted to start the show today with one quick play that I already have kind of queued up, and it's a Manny Machado catch yesterday in foul territory. And we're just going to look at it a few times on the old broadcast cam here, and we're going to go from there. Pops it up. Manny's over in like a semi-shift, playing shortstop spot. It's a great play. He runs over there, he slides, he catches it, he crashes into the wall in a 1-run game. But there's a little bit of nuance here that I want to point out, and it reminds me of my very first year in pro baseball when I was with the Cardinals, and I went to instructional league, and some of my best friends, Jim Rappaport, John Jay, Alan Craig, Shane Robinson, all these guys are outfielders, and they used to work with this guy. We used to call him Sporty Spencer. Apologize, I don't remember. Maybe Tom Spencer. He was the outfield coordinator at the time for the Cardinals, and he used to talk about playing the outfield, and that there's basically 2 ways to play the outfield. Way number 1 is to know exactly where the wall is, so you can deal with the wall accordingly. You know exactly where you are relative to the wall, and you won't get hurt by the wall. And option number 2 is you just pretend the wall doesn't exist at all, and you just play with reckless abandon, and you're going to make all the plays, but you're also probably, risking injury there a little bit. And he harkened back to an old play that's actually sort of similar to this play, where Derek Jeter ran, caught the ball, crashed into the stands, ended up getting some stitches on his face. I don't believe he missed too much time, if any time, but he almost got majorly injured. And I remember him saying, "Do you think that was a good play by Derek Jeter?" And everybody was like, "Yeah, that was a sick play." And he said, "No, that was a dumb play because the team could have been without their captain and their best player had he got really hurt there." And therefore, the move to do when you're making this type of play where you're running in foul territory headed towards the wall is exactly what Manny does here. There's a little bit of nuance, and he slides. And the slide is really important because it protects you in a lot of different ways. not only does it keep him in a good position to make the catch, as you can see, he kind of gets under the ball here and basket catches it. But also when he slides, now he doesn't have to worry about his knees getting crushed into the wall or him shooting over the wall. He can kind of slide and just kind of let his whole body take the brunt of the impact as he slides into the wall here. No muss, no fuss, no injury. Gets the out. And one of your best players gets to stay on the field. And last thing the Padres would need would be Manny to get hurt right here. So it's just a little bit of a technique thing. It's a slide. I mean, this is a tough play. The ball's got a lot of spin when it's hit to this part of the park up in the air. You got the sun to contend with. There's a lot of things that are messing with your spatial awareness. But Manny does a really good job. We'll go to the high home. Manny does a really good job of staying with this ball, kind of knowing that the wall was coming, but sliding so he doesn't get himself hurt. And then obviously the bonus on it is that he makes the play. As a pitcher, this isn't a play that you expect to get made. Of course, you hope it gets made, but this isn't a play that you expect to get made. All right, so Manny's right here. Look at all the distance he has to cover. I'd love to see the StatCast on this because it looks like he runs 120, 130 feet before eventually catching it way down here. But I just wanted to point that out real quick. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this play. The slide for your young outfielders out there when you're approaching a wall, especially the side walls, consider the slide. If you try to dive face first, you could concuss yourself or break your neck or something really scary. If you go standing up and you try to make the play, you might be a little out of control, can't slow yourself down, a la Derek Jeter. But if you slide here, keep yourself protected and you give yourself a great chance to make the play. And that's basically what I wanted to start out today with. As a little play by Manny. But we are going to get going into the topics today. My first major topic is Nathan Eovaldi, Nasty Nate. Let's go ahead and pull up his page because he has been awesome this year. He is sitting at 7-3 with a 1.58 in 97 innings. He did spend a little time on the injured list this year. But yeah, 158 through 16 games. Before we jump in on Nate, obviously the numbers are all terrific. He's below average in one category, which is fastball velo, which is actually funny for him because he came up throwing 100 and he was really impressive as a young player with his arm talent. But he's just become one of the more complete pitchers in the game. I was fortunate enough to have him as a teammate in 2021. When I hit 10 years, his wife was gracious enough to bake me this cake right here. I had all the teams I had played on. Up to that point, Cardinals, Rockies, Yankees, Red Sox. That glove on the top is a cake replica of the glove I was actually using at the time to play catch with, like a dark navy blue with red writing for Red Sox. And 10 years, she makes phenomenal. She does stuff like this all the time. Becca Eovaldi, phenomenal cakes, cookies, always celebrating all the teammates' accomplishments. They're just an awesome family, and I wanted to point that out real quick, but Nate is the type of guy that had some injuries early in his career, had 2 Tommy Johns, threw hard, didn't get the results he wanted, struggled a lot, but persevered, I feel like, and really learned who he was as a pitcher. And if you look at him now, he is a true 4-pitch pitcher. Split is actually his primary pitch, if you can see down here. And then 4-seam, curve, cutter. He'll mix in a little bit of a slider. But he just keeps you guessing at all times. I think the split usage going up is really a sign of the times. I think split is one of the hardest pitches to practice hitting against if you're a hitter, and you can set the machine to all sorts of fastballs and spin and all different shapes. But who's really going up there looking for a splitter or a changeup when you're practicing off a machine? I'd say nobody. So Nate's done a great job of kind of implementing the split. And, I don't think he was an all-star this year, but the numbers speak for themselves, and really he's so well respected around the league. Like the conversation around Nate sometimes is just unique to him. Like this offseason, I was talking to the president of the Rangers, Chris Young, talking about maybe an opportunity for me, but he was saying that his first priority in the offseason was to sign back Nathan Eovaldi. Nobody would ever tell a player that, but he told me that, and I feel like and they did sign him back, and that just goes to show the impact he has in the clubhouse and on the field. Obviously, he's a terrific pitcher, getting better with age, which is what we all love. But just a terrific, terrific pitcher. And I think we should get into his game a little bit yesterday. Let's see who they play. I think they played Houston. Let me just double check that real quick. Yeah, Texas, Houston. So let's go over to Texas and Houston. We'll just speed watch his game a little bit as he continues to shove, and we'll see what stands out about his approach at this point in his career. It was a good matchup. Eovaldi and our guy Hunter Brown, who's been one of the best pitchers in the game. But let's get started. First pitch of the game. Absolute ambush by Paredes. Dead pull shocker. And I think the challenge ended up getting upheld. It ended up being a double and not a homer. But he almost gets clipped on the first pitch of the game. You know, whatever. And a walk. So this game starts off not so great. A very rare walk by Eovaldi here of Cam Smith. So 2 guys and nobody out as we start this game. But as you'll come to find out about Nate, nothing rattles this guy. So he's going to get his first out of the game versus Altuve on a curveball. It's a little rollover double play. And he uses all his pitches. This is one of the toughest guys in the game to think along with. Really, really hard. Perfect location on the 4-seam in. And actually a ridiculously good play by the center fielder, Evan Carter here. But, you know, as the pitcher, all you can do is worry about the pitch you make, and this is a beautiful pitch. I believe he starts him with a curveball, so let's see how these 2 pitches pair together. Curveball kind of pops here on the inner part of the plate, and it's going to come back to here. So you know you're getting a swing fire on pitches that start in, so now he's going to throw a borderline pitch in. He knows he's going to get the fire. And it's a perfect spot. That's exactly, I'm sure, where the heat map wanted it. And obviously make a great play by Evan Carter. But, you know, 74 mile an hour, you know, contact, that's what you're looking for. And Nasty Nate is out of the first inning. And I'm also going to show you a little bit. Only 12.5 vertical break. So early in his career, when he tried to pitch off his fastball, this is one of the things that dragged him down. He doesn't have great shape on the 4-seam. So despite when he used to sit 98, 99, the hitters would say it was kind of a light 98, 99. So that forced him to evolve and to become this, you know, pitcher who has a bag of tricks. Like, he has every trick in the book. And like, that's what we showed before. His pitch mix is supreme. When I played with him in the Red Sox, he was actually a 5-pitch pitcher. But now he's 4-pitch pitcher, but it's all equally distributed. And like I said, you can't think with this guy. All right, we're going to look in the chat real quick. Yo, what's up? What's up? Everybody that's here. I really appreciate it. All right, we are going to Caratini as we start off the second.
Great month for him.
And here's the first out of the game he's going to get with a split.
There's a ball in the right field. That'll be
Actually,
down
it's a
for
hit. Decent pitch, kind of too much down the middle, but not afraid to throw the split behind the count. Taylor Trammell.
Series with the Mariners.
See where he locates this 4.
Just like last year on the road.
Another good spot, up and in. Gets the lazy pop out. And then he's going to get his second double play of the game on another beautiful split. This one with negative vertical break. To the free swinging Mauricio Dubon. Kind of down the middle, but I'm going to roll it over. Nice turn. All right, top of the third, Cooper Hummel. Here's the first cutter that we're going to see for an out. He's really good at backdooring it. Yep. It's a very nice backdoor pitch. As we talked about earlier, there's a lot of heat maps that teams will provide you that show you that they really like cutter backdoor, but especially cutter up here backdoor. But one thing I love about Nate's pitch, this is, first of all, it's a 92 mile an hour cutter, so it's above average speed for a cutter, even though his fastball's coming in only a little bit harder these days. It's above average speed for a cutter. He's got a way above average vert, 14.4 vert and a -3. This is a really nice metric. He's got Higgy back here, my guy, set up off the plate. And, hold on, I drew way too much there. Let's erase that real quick. And Higgy's giving him a good target. His center of mass is set up off the plate. Nate's going to drive it right at him and run it back to the corner. And in this case, it's low, so he gets a little ground ball. And a nice out of Cooper Hummel. Zach Short, former teammate last year with the Metros. Gets him reaching on the curveball. Easy out. Nate's kind of, I think all older pitchers get into this mode where it's like, of course they want to strike you out, but they don't become all about strikeouts. They love to get the easy outs. Here he slows Paredes down with a little split. Odd that he popped it up, but that's an easy out. Fourth inning, and now Nate's starting to roll.
He's in that song. You know that song.
Ground ball to the
Little
third.
toe
Tough
tap
play by
hesitation
Smith.
split.
Nicely
This is
done.
another element of Nasty Nate's game that I really appreciate. Now a lot of people love the gimmick style pitching, all the different pump fakes with the knees and all the leg hangs, and for the most part I don't love it. I think a lot of it's eyewash and kind of tired, but if you do it subtly and you do it the right way and you do it with a little bit of an art form to it, then I start to respect it a little bit more. And watch Nate's foot here as he lifts, hesitates, and then throws.
Ground ball to
And a lot of
third.
times when you're doing
Tough
these
play
timing
by
disruptions
Smith.
as a pitcher, you're not looking for big moves. You're looking for small moves. And hold on, my daughter's here at the door. I'm live right now, baby. You're looking for small timing disruptions because, big changes, hitters can kind of see that. And I feel like small changes, sometimes they can't see it, and the change is just enough to get them off the barrel, which is really what you're trying to do as a pitcher. So we can even look at this a little bit, maybe from the side, so you can just see what he does with his foot here. Kind of lifts it up, and then he's going to lift it up and bring it straight back down. Up, down, pause, and then go. So it's not much, it's subtle, but it's enough to get him a little bit off timing, and he gets a nice little ground out. Fourth inning, Altuve, the ambusher. Oh, sees an opportunity. I think you're okay with that in this spot. Jose doesn't do a lot of that. It's a really good bunt, really good execution by Altuve getting on base, but you move on right away. It's one pitch, no big deal. 3-pitch punchy of Christian Walker.
I mean, I really can't.
Finishes him with that curveball below the zone and that on-under location. Let's quickly go through this at-bat and see how we set him up. All right, little first pitch cutter.
Mike Jones, Hall of Famer Jeff Bagwell.
Auto take, so a little cutter up middle. Splitter off that. Similar speed, opposite movement. That's why I like cutters and changeups or cutters and splitters as a combo. This one, opposite movement. It's breaking down and in. Gets the chopper. Then he goes 2 speeds down to the curveball. And the big key, folks, is that he gets it right there below the zone.
Walker goes down on strikes. I know what.
Gets it to right in here. This is where all the chase happens, folks. Boop, beautiful pitch.
Walker goes down
And
on
we're on
strikes.
to the next. Christian Walker. Go sit in the truck. Caratini. Last time singled on a split. Looks like he's going to get him out with the split this time. Let's see the location.
On the ground.
Kind of a
Duran
similar
will
location,
glove it.
but
It's on the bag for the final out of the inning.
gets the
One hit,
fortunate
one
pull
left
side
up.
right to Duran at first. And we're on to the 5th. Taylor Trammell. Going to get him with the cutter in now. Going in cutter
On
location.
the ground, diving
Wow,
stop by
really
Duran.
nice play by
Great play by the Ranger
Duran,
first
and
baseman
nice
to
cover by
retire
Nate.
Taylor Trammell.
Nate's a freak athlete, by the way. One of the best athletes I've ever seen. One of the hardest workers I've ever seen. He lifts heavy, does a lot of stuff that other people just don't have the fortitude to do. I mean, this guy will ride the bike for like 2 hours on a non-start day just because he wants to, like to train, cardiovascular train. I don't know. He's a mad scientist a little bit with the body, but he's a beast, absolute beast. That's why I think he's going to play a really long time. All right, so he gets that ground out. Now we got Dubon.
It's happening.
A lot of 2-speed down on the curveball here. Got to take advantage of a Dubon. Swings at kind of everything. So as a pitcher, once you're ahead in the count, no need to throw him anything over the plate. I'm just going to get a punchy here of Cooper Hummel on the split. See the location. Little toe tap hesitation and a beautiful execution. I think that toe tap helps there on the split too. It kind of deceives you a little bit. Like the toe tap, you're already a little more out front with your body, and then on top of that, the pitch is slower and it looks like a fastball. Let's see what the chat says. Nate's MO seems like it's a mix of subtle speed differences and deceptive location that you might not expect from a hitter's perspective. How should an average or above average hitter approach Nate? Yeah, that's a good question. If I'm a hitter and I'm facing Nate, I think I got to look at his arsenal and I got to pick out the pitch that I think I can drive and the pitch that he strikes the most. So for me, it'd probably be cutter or maybe curveball as you get later in the game, as he's going to dump a lot of first pitch curveballs in, and I strictly hunt that pitch. He doesn't do a lot of doubling up and tripling up, so he's always sticking and moving, which kind of tells you as a hitter at some point you're going to get a pitch you want, and based off of the count, I'd be hunting certain pitches in the zone. But again, you can't think with him. Like, I can't think with him, and I know the way he thinks. So if I can't think with him and I know the way he thinks, I don't think a hitter can think with him too much. See ball, hit the ball approach might be really good, but that's really hard to do. Not a lot of guys can do it. Let's see what Zach Short does, because he clips him for the first run of the game. Nice homer into the Crawford boxes.
Well, this whole last couple series, that ball's drilled.
Yeah, curveball, middle down. This is a classic two-strike mistake. You're going to see a lot of two-strike homers on breaking balls that just don't get to the chase location. You know, you're trying to get down here. This pitch ends up in here. He's already pretty aware of the curveball as he got Shorty out with the curveball away in the first at-bat. But this time doesn't quite get it there. And that's the first run of the game. But Nathan Eovaldi doesn't stay down for long. Comes right back with a 3-pitch punch-out of Paredes. I love the slow curveball of Paredes. He's trying to pull everything, so his energy's already on pull side. And then this ball is just so slow that it just doesn't get there. And he's out front. That's the beauty of having something super slow. The 2 speeds down approach really works. Let's see how he gets to Cam Smith here. It's going to be a split. Nasty one, too. Oh, perfect location. This is so back-to-back 3-pitch punchies. I'm not going to watch the first one, but let's watch this one. Here's that first pitch dumper, or curveball as we would call it. Gets the call. Nice soft hands by Higgy back there. Now he's going to speed him up, so he goes from super slow to his fastest pitch. 95 painted away, but now he's got a nice low tunnel, so Cam Smith has to respect anything that starts at the bottom of the zone, and Nathan's going to expose that with a split that starts at the bottom of the zone and dives below for the chase. It's beautiful, beautiful sequence right there. This ball comes out low height, which is exactly where that fastball was, and it dives below. Gets him to swing over the top. It's a nice chase. He didn't see any pitch twice. This is the Nathan Eovaldi approach. Altuve. Looks like Altuve's going to get second hit off him. Actually, yeah, second hit off him. It's a good pitch. I love to pitch Jose inside. You know he's swinging, but sometimes you get jammed and you bloop it over the infield. It's a good piece of hitting. Get yourself jammed sometimes. Christian Walker. Going to punch out for the second time. Another beautiful split, it looks like. Yep, split below the zone. Right on right changeup or split located down is a cheat code. Even me, who had a really bad changeup, I have some nice strikeouts right on right with changeups, especially if they haven't seen one, you know, to like the 4th or 5th pitch of the at-bat. You locate it, they're not going to know what happened. They're going to read fastball. All right, we go to the 7th. Caratini, this time he's going to get him. It's backdoor cutter. Let's see where the location is. I mean, great catch by Higgy. This ball sweeps hard. Not probably where he wanted it. This is actually a good pitch to hit, but he doesn't swing, and Higgy does a nice job kind of snatching that. Kyle Higashioka, one of the few catchers that goes with both knees up in his stance, but still frames above average. So he can kind of do what other guys simply can't do. So that's what makes him so special behind the plate. On top of the fact that he's just really smart and just awesome. All right, Caratini called out Taylor Trammell. He's been working this guy in all day. Let's see what they go to here. Now they go splitter away, he pulls off it. So you work him in the first 2 at-bats, and you give him something to roll over the 3rd at-bat with his energies already getting ready to cheat in. It's classic pitching. Dubon, let's see if he swings at another ball here.
Pitchers come back for us.
Yeah, borderline pitch in. Actually a decent pitch to hit, but again, he's not going to give you what you want. I'm sure Mauricio wants a fastball. He's just not going to give it to you. Ooh, we're going for another backdoor cutter attempt. Ooh, it's not a strike, but it's perfectly executed by both the pitcher and the catcher here. So, okay, so this is important. So Higgy's center of body here. That's a terrible line, but oh my God, that's a terrible line. Let me back that up. Sorry, guys. I should be better at this. Okay. So Higgy's line is off the plate. Like, there's the corner, and he's off the plate. That gives Nate a place to drive this ball. He wants to start it right in the middle of Higgy's chest and run it back to the corner. And then from the umpire's perspective, he sees the catcher reaching back towards the zone. I think he's more likely to call this a strike. I think if Higashioka's energy is more on the corner, I think Nate pulls this ball into the hitting zone, and that's the danger. And also, if you miss a little bit away, I think then he sees the catcher reaching away from the zone. The umpire sees the catcher reaching away from the zone and will never give you the call. But in this case, he sets it up so he has to reach towards the zone and sets him up for just a beautiful painted strike 3, even though it's a ball. I think that's just really good planning by Higashioka and by Nate, and just the value of giving a really good target. And this is his final batter of the game because we're out here in the 8th. Zach Short, he clipped him the last time. Nate's emptying the tank with probably one of his hardest pitches of the night. And he doors him up top. So the whole game he's been pitching kind of the down game. A lot of curveballs, a lot of splitters, a lot of cutters, fastballs down. And then he gets his final punchy with the heater up. So, you know, he's a pro. He pitches to all quadrants of the zone. He's just got such an advanced, such a mature approach to pitching. He's always ready to go deep in the game. You really can't think of him up there at the plate, and I think that's just such an advantage. And as you can see, the results, this might be his best season of his career in every metric up to this point, except for innings pitched. I'd love to see him finish this year, get above 150 innings. You know, if the Rangers could hit it all between him and DeGrom and Molly, the way he was throwing the ball early in the year, and, you know, Leiter's been pretty good, you would think they would have a great record. I think they have the best ERA in the league from their starters, and yet they don't have a great record, which is very strange. I watched a little bit of the Nolan Ryan documentary, so it's cool when you see Alvin, Texas, Alvin High School. So Nate from the same place as the great Nolan Ryan, and they go about it a little bit different, but I think they're both going to, you know, Nolan Ryan pitched 26 years. I don't think Nate will get there, but I think he'll get pretty far. I mean, he's done it all in his career. His pitch usage has been all over the map. He used to have a trouble with pulled balls in the air. He's kind of fixed that to some extent. The run value, I mean, he's spreading it around. He's every pitch but the slider has been awesome for him this year. So it's more of the sum of the parts than any one pitch that he's spamming. And I really would like people to understand that. You can do that. You can be a guy that just can't be predicted, and there's a lot of value there. He's good at the basics, gets ahead. But yeah, as of now, this in 2021, the year I played with him where he was in the running for the Cy Young, so far his best 2 years, according to Baseball Savant. He's also really good at the running game. I mean, this is really, really strong for a righty. Certainly I know because I was the worst at this, but this is really strong. So just an all-around great pitcher. If you're a kid and you want to watch fundamentals and how to get guys out, even without premium velocity, Nathan Eovaldi's kind of the guy to watch. All right, let's go to my notes and let's see who we have next. All right, so 2 days ago, Byron Buxton hit for the cycle. That was Saturday. Twins and... Did I miss it? Yeah, Twins in Pittsburgh. We got to quickly look at Byron Buxton. I have his Savant page up too because he's a freak. This guy's always been compared to Mike Trout ever since he got drafted super high. As you can see this year, he's going off. He's always been hurt. This year he's hopefully, you know, he looks like he's on pace to be his healthiest season in a really long time. Already has 333 plate appearances. And the previous years he topped out in the 300s. But 100th percentile sprint speed, 92 percentile in range out there. He's got a good arm. He's not very accurate, but he's got a strong arm and obviously hitting. He's a beast. He's got that speed power combo that we talk about. So he hits for the cycle, and let's watch those at-bats. Twins Pirates from Saturday. I think it'd be fun to watch a cycle. Cycles are really rare. I think they're more rare than no-hitters. Maybe somebody in the chat knows that. Twins Pirates, and we're just going to go to Mr. Buxton. I believe he went 5 for 5 in this game. Yeah, 5 for 5. So let's watch all of his pitches and see how they attacked him. Mike Burrows. Little heater away. Going to double up heater. First time through, he's going to throw some heaters. Actually beats him right there. Then goes to the third heater. So 3 heaters in a row to a great hitter. Not a great approach. Ooh, little stumble by Kiner Falefa, and that's what speed does. So you get a hit for that. It's not an error because he does field it. Hits this ball hard. 111. So this ball, okay. So yes, this is a ground ball to short. But he hits this ball so hard that it kind of staggers Kiner Falefa, slows him down just enough where he can use the speed out of the right batter's box. Can we look at the high home on Buxton and just watch this guy run right now? Huge strides, close play, beats it out. There's the first hit of the day. All right, so 3 fastballs from Burrows the first at-bat. Let's see how he goes out in the second at-bat. Okay, 4th fastball.
First home run Burrows has allowed with his breaking ball all year.
Perfect pitch. Foul ball. 5th fastball.
Well, it's hard not to go down memory.
And now here comes the first slider. Let's see where he locates it.
Now Buxton with
it's actually a decent location, but Buxton was looking out over because that's where every pitch has been so far, except for the non-competitive one. And then he's off to the races again. He's in there pretty easy on the triple. So a 111 ground ball and a 112 line drive to center for his first 2 hits in this game. And let's look at the high home because I want to watch Buxton. I want to watch him run. Let's watch him circle. Let's see when he starts sniffing that triple. Yeah, right around first base. He's starting to sniff it. Helmet comes off. Man, triple's such an exciting play. And it's great to see a guy like that run. Literally the fastest guy in the game. So, all right, so he's already used his legs twice. If this was any other player, he'd be 1 for 2 with a ground out and maybe a double. He certainly wouldn't have a triple. Oh, Garrett Holman, first cycle in target field history. I think triples are hard to come by, and I think that's probably why. All right, so now we're going to face Genesis Cabrera, lefty, little splitter. And then here comes the heater, and Buxton's been all over, been ready to swing at heaters all day. Another up and away spot. Another 100-mile-an-hour contact. So I think they need to start pitching him inside would be my thought at this point, because this is a lean over, pull the outside pitch. So Buxton's feeling pretty comfortable in this game, and now he's just a home run away. 5th at bat. He's not going to complete it here, but he's going to face Johan Ramirez. This is a nasty guy, too. No command, but nasty guy. 97 middle, ready to fire. Now he's going to go to that sweeper. Kind of hangs it down the middle. Buxton stays through it. You can see his energy is very divey right now. You can see the angle of the feet here. It's kind of slanted in. He's fully committed to selling out for the outside corner. So you got to pitch him in for strikes, in my mind. But this ball pops in, ends up down the middle, so he's able to whack it to left. And then let's watch him complete the cycle with the homer versus Andrew Haney to center. All right, they're going to start him change up this 5th at bat.
2 runs.
I mean, easy take, terrible call. So now he's down 0-1. Haney going sinker here. Oh, drop down sinker. Didn't know he had that in his game. He's known for a risey fastball and then drop down sinker, -1 vert. Interesting choice. So he's in the driver's seat 0-2. He's going to go to the curveball, and he leaves it in the zone. And Byron parks it to center to complete the cycle. 106, dead center, 32. The boys are loving it. Buck truck on the scoreboard flashing. Such a good player. Such an electric player. Him and Royce Lewis, can they stay healthy? Oh, look at Bader's loving it. Buck Daddy's loving it. I mean... Let's watch that again. Curveball down, 0-2. Cleans it out to center. Let's see if we can watch Buck from the side here on this homer. Oh my God, doesn't even follow through. This is very much of a Chase Utley finish here. Look at the bat here. Never really fully follows through. Just shows you what kind of athlete this guy is. Just a nice little, like a very fast rotation a la Mike Trout in the swing. Scoop out to center. So there's the cycle, first cycle in target field history. Byron Buxton. He's having a great year, but for him it's just staying on the field. So I wanted to highlight that really quick. And then Kyle Stowers, 3 home runs yesterday versus his old team, the Orioles. I want to hop on that really quick. So we got Marlins and Orioles. Marlins and Orioles. Now, going back to that Buxton at bat, like they needed to make an adjustment. They needed to pitch him in there. Clearly, he was very comfortable, just chomping on his gum, hunting the outside corner. If I'm watching that game on the iPad in the bullpen, when I come in the game, my first pitch is a strike inside. I'm using his aggression against him. I'm hoping I just jam him a little bit and roll him over. So in this game, Stowers goes bridge 3 times versus his old team. He got traded last year. Also a 5-for-5 day. I'm just going to watch the homers, though, but let's see if they make any adjustment, because it's all off the same guy, Young. So let's see what Young does to try to adjust him. Obviously, it doesn't work. First pitch, 4-seam. I mean, already ready to hit. Fouls it off. They're going to 4-seam again, probably a little higher. Off the plate away. And now let's see what happens here on this split. It's actually a really good split. It's below the zone. Hard to fault the pitcher here. I thought it was actually a pretty good sequence. But Stowers just scoops it out. This is the issue with throwing the low pitches. They can be really effective, but this ball doesn't have a lot of vertical drop on it. It's only a 6.3, so it had some, but nothing crazy. And just a nice swing by Kyle. Below the zone. Stays through it nice. Whacks it out. Let's look at it from the side. Great extension through the ball for a low pitch. Goes and gets it, but then watch how he follows through all the way. Yeah, very very Kyle Tucker with this follow through here, kind of staying through it, not rolling over that bottom hand, that top hand, I should say. So there's the first homer. It's a splitter below the zone. Second homer. First pitch curveball. Wow.
10 runs in this series. Here's Stowers, who's already homered.
I don't know. Maybe he was sitting on it, because a lot of times you're going to get a take here. Obviously, this isn't a good pitch location-wise if you're trying to get a hitter out, but he's probably thinking he's not looking for the curveball first pitch. But Stowers came ready to hit today, and he sees this ball pop, and he's right on time and just flicks it out to right. 106 at 27. All right, third at bat. When a guy's clipped you twice, you got to be careful that third time. Ooh, I like the pitch choice there. Fastball in, splitter off that. So excellent choice, first two pitches to get to the 0-2 count. Now he's probably gonna think, how do I get that third strike? All right, hold on, in the chat. So you got fastball in off the plate with a fire, and you got a split down below the zone for a fire. I think here this pitch has got to go even lower out of the zone, but it looks like they go to the fastball. Let's see where they go for it. They're going to try to go up away. I mean, not. It's kind of a nothing pitch to me, useless pitch. Yeah, they're going to throw another four seam.
1-2 here.
He just didn't know how to put him away. He got ahead nicely in this at bat, but he didn't know how to put him away. So now he's going to triple up on a fastball here. And I mean, he's firing on everything in. This ball's in off the plate, but it's the second one he sees in the sequence. And clips him for a third time. Young's shaking his head. I don't know. I think after those first two pitches, you got to go down. You got to go down on the third pitch. I mean, here's the second pitch. So he went heater in, and then he went splitter down. So he got swings on both of these locations. So you want, I think, ideally something now to maybe start here and get below the zone. Instead, they throw a waste heater away, a waste heater up before coming back in. Stowers was able to just completely ignore these pitches. And honestly, the way he completely ignored them, maybe a backdoor breaking ball might have been the pitch, because if he's going to ignore away, maybe he'll freeze away. But they weren't on it with any of these. They try to go heater here. Catcher set up away, so this is a pulled heater in. Actually, no. Where's the catcher set up on the fifth pitch? Yeah, middle away, so this is a heater pulled in. And as four-seam pitchers know, when you pull your heater in, that's usually the home run pitch. So, you just gotta be more aware of what a guy's burned you with, where his swing kind of is on that day, and kind of how to adjust on that. All right, so for a second, let's see what the chat's got here. 3 home runs in one game is impressive, but against the same pitcher is even more impressive. Rare. I agree. I just think as the pitcher, you're just not going to let it happen after the first one, let alone after the second one. You might walk them, but you're probably not going to get clipped a third time because you're going to adjust off that. Let's see what Mike says here. Player development isn't linear, and Buxton is the former number 3 pick battled through injuries. How do guys with elite talent approach pushing forward become better versus knowing they, for whatever reason, have history of health issues? I mean, the health issue stuff, it's like, there's usually answers to that. Like, I hate to say a guy's just injury prone forever and, like, he'll never ever get healthy. Like, I don't think that's true. I think you can learn from your injuries. Like, I got Tommy John, and then I became super durable after that, and it was because, like, I learned from my mistakes from blowing out that first time and making adjustments. I think it's hard until you know your own personal physical pitfalls of your body to, like, know what adjustments to make. That's why it's not so easy just to have everybody in your organization do the same stuff and stay healthy. But Buxton's, like, he's been great pretty much the whole time he's been in the big leagues when he's been healthy. He had a little strikeout problem early, but who doesn't, really? You know, in the big leagues, you're facing the nasty dudes. So now maybe they figured out a routine. You know, I always say it's like kind of like a whack-a-mole situation where you fix one thing and then another thing crops up. You fix that, another thing crops up. But eventually you check enough boxes where you're able to stay out there in the field. And hopefully Byron's gotten to that point, because just as a viewer, he's one of the best to watch. All right, let's head back to the notes. So we looked at those two things quickly. Okay, I want to do something a little different here. I want to go through the draft. Draft happened yesterday. Have some of my favorites on here as we'll go to the draft tracker. We can watch a little bit of the video maybe. They don't really have great video. I miss the old days with the handheld camera behind home plate. There used to be one lady who did all this filming. I remember when they filmed me my junior year of college. I think I was pitching at Old Dominion, and I got filmed for my draft video. And I used to watch these a lot growing up. This was like the only thing the internet had was these grainy videos of prospects, so I could kind of see what the competition looked like. But anyway, let's get into the draft. The Nats surprised everybody with Eli Willits at the top of the draft, which I thought was interesting because a lot of people thought he was the safest pick in this draft. Just a guy who kind of does a little bit of everything. It's compared to like a Volpe with a little bit better contact tool, but like just as good as speed, great defense, really good head for the game, being that his dad's Reggie Willits. He was the outfield coach and an excellent outfield coach when I was with the Yankees. So you're seeing a lot of these stories now of sons of former major leaguers, sons of coaches that are really using that, institutional knowledge to push their game up. And the fundamentals really stand out with this guy. He's a stud. Let's see if we can get his video real quick, because it's just like one of these MLB draft videos. But you can see, first of all, I love the number 22. That's one of my favorite numbers. But lefty stroke, short little stroke. He was playing in Oklahoma fall ball with the older kids and dominating. So he already showed that he's going to be able to step into pro ball as a young guy and feel comfortable. He's got a speed component to his game. Here's him stealing a base with a nice head first slide. He's also a good defender. And it's interesting because him and Ethan Holiday, both from Oklahoma, guys who played against each other, they were both in the running for this number 1 pick. Reporting had it being Ethan or Cade Anderson going number 1, ends up being Eli Willits. It'd be interesting to see how this plays out. Obviously, with the draft, you're talking about a really long time from now, when you know if it panned out or not. But I'm excited for this kid. I'm excited for his family. Number 1 pick is no joke. As you can see, the pick value is $11 million. So your life really changes on that day, whether you sign for that much or not. Bremner was a huge surprise at number 2 at a UC SB. Really good pitcher, and I think the Angels like to draft for need and to get up there. Everybody had them taking Liam Doyle. I find it fascinating that they didn't go that direction. And then Seattle gets a guy that I know they really wanted. They wanted a pitcher in this draft. They got Cade Anderson. I do think they would have went Seth Hernandez if they didn't get him. But Cade Anderson, I think, to me, he's the most polished pitcher in this draft. If I was targeting a starter, he would have been the guy I would have been targeting. A starter that I needed relatively soon. And then Ethan Holiday, that's a no-brainer to the Rockies. They had Matt, obviously, so they're going to go with Ethan. Let's see what the chat here. The wild card in this decision is Washington's decision to fire Rizzo week 4 draft. I agree, and I know Rizzo was a very hands-on GM, especially with scouting. That's kind of his background. But at the same time, Nationals have a whole scouting department, so they were probably keying in on 1 or 2 of these guys anyway. And they did a good job kind of keeping mum about it, and they ended up taking Eli Willits. But Ethan Holiday, yeah, that was a no-brainer. And for my money, I know he's got a little bit of a strikeout issue and a little bit of a long swing, but I just know the kid, super competitive. I've known him since he was really little. And when Matt came back to the Rockies late in his career, him and Jackson used to be in the cage, hitting with the boys and chopping it up. And this kid's got nothing but confidence. He's got an older brother to learn from. He's got a dad to learn from. I really think one way or another he'll make the adjustments to be a good player. I don't know if he stays on shortstop, but I do think he will be a good hitter, and he'll definitely be a big leaguer for a long time. Another thing to point out is if you just go through this list on the positions, outside of the pitchers, they're all shortstops. Willits, shortstop. Holiday, shortstop. Arquette, shortstop. He's more of a third baseman, but shortstop. JoJo Parker, shortstop. Steele Hall, shortstop. Billy Carlson, my favorite, shortstop. Gavin Fine, shortstop. Gavin Klein, shortstop. Daniel Pierce, shortstop. So if you're a kid at home or you're a dad at home and you want to know kind of, how to get your kid drafted high or how to get him looked at high, just stick him at shortstop, challenge him to field everything on the run, like Dansby Swanson says. And they're actually, I'm looking at the chat here. Anyone in the middle or late picks you find interesting? Yes. Really quick, though, as we go down, some of my favorite guys. My favorite guy was Billy Carlson. We can watch his video in a little bit. And Seth Hernandez, who I know there's a little bit taboo to take high school righties. But down in the draft, the kid I like is who Houston took. This kid, Xavier Nayans, out of Mount Vernon High School in Washington. We can pull up his video real quick. He's currently listed as a shortstop, third baseman. He's probably going to end up in the outfield. Doesn't have great actions in the field, in my opinion. But I do think he has the best raw swing in this draft. He's got a wide base, but I compare his swing and game to a Rafi Devers. It's very strong, big time pop, oppo pop. This is the guy that if you think somebody's going to pop and become a ridiculous hitting superstar, I think it's this guy. And for them to snag him at 21 is a really good draft pick. They're just the best athletes. Holiday is not anything like Jackson, less speed. Yeah, he's probably not going to be a shortstop, but they all start as shortstops, so I think that's important starting place because it gives you a chance to really work on that athleticism, and those skill sets transfer to every position. We talked a little bit about how those guys move to the corner spots or even to the outfield or even to catcher. So if you start at shortstop, you have a lot of fallback opportunity to go play other positions and still be valuable. I also really liked, there's another good pick here that I liked a lot. Where is it? Ethan Conrad. The Cubs picked him at 17 out of Wake Forest. He actually was at Marist College in New York before Wake Forest. His on-base percentage is consistently over 400. He's got a really nice approach. He's a big kid. I like him a lot. He's an outfield first base, but I think from a hitting perspective, this kid's really, really good. So he's somebody I liked. Gage Wood, obviously we all saw him throw the no-hitter. Maybe it was a perfect game. I think it was a no-hitter in the College World Series. He's a dog. I thought maybe that would push him up a little bit higher. Phillies end up getting him. I think that's a good fit. He'll move quickly there. Laviolette, who was projected to go like top 2 or 3, this kid down here that Cleveland snagged, had a weird year today. He's got a weird setup. If you watch his swing at all, maybe we can get into that for a second. If you watch his swing at all, it's very, not a lot going on, but it's big pop to right. This year he did struggle a little bit. So I'll be curious to see, let's see the swing. It's kind of like just a big body, not a lot of flow, not a lot of movement in the swing, but he crushed it his sophomore year with homers. Junior year, he got exposed a little bit more. Still had a good year, but it wasn't what everybody was expecting. So he lasts a little bit later in the draft. This is a guy who's either going to go one way or another. He's going to punch out a lot. He's going to hit some homers. But that's a guy who fell off a little bit. Let's go watch my favorite guy just for a second, Billy Carlson. Now, the draft models don't love this guy because he's 19, which is a weird high school age, but this kid's so smooth. Like, his hitting, like, we're going to have to see because nobody knows if anybody can hit until they really get to the show. But Billy Carlson, if we can, I really want them to show him on defense because he's one of the smoothest, best arm shortstops I've ever seen. I do think they show him a little bit on the mound here as well because he also has, the fallback plan of pitching. Teams were scared on the swing and miss for Laviolette. I agree. There was a lot of that there. Here's Billy pitching. It's smooth delivery. So this is the fallback option. When you're a great athlete and you have mound talent as well, sometimes that really translates. Really nice spiral of the whole body there in the delivery. DeGrom was a transition guy, Schwellenbach, so there's always that possibility. But if you watch this kid field, if you get the chance to watch Billy Carlson field, it's sublime, man. He looks like Bobby Witt out there, maybe even smoother. So anyway, that's my draft talk. I wish we could watch even more videos of these dudes, but that's my draft talk. You know what? Let's watch Seth Hernandez for a second. I think this is a steal for the Pirates. It's a developmental type pick because he's young, but I mean, the ball, the delivery, the ball jumps out of his hand. It's a plus changeup. I think he's the best pitcher in the draft. Overall, I mean, obviously, if you're drafting for need, like early need, I go Cade Anderson, but this guy, Seth Hernandez, his upside is true number 1. And I think if you're drafting at the top of the draft, that's what you're looking for. That's an easy 97 right there. It's a very flowy, look at that, 82 changeup. So 15 off the fastball. It's amazing for a high school kid to have that because you don't need it when you're in high school. So it's one of the things that I like about him. He shows an early feel for that changeup. That looks like a slider right there. That Corona High School out there had 3 picks in the top 40, I believe, with Seth Hernandez, Billy Carlson, and then also Dino Abel's son. I have a hard time remembering his first name, Abel. But he went, let's see. No. Round 1C? Yeah, Brady Abel, also out of Corona High School. So 3 picks. 3 players in the top 32 out of the same high school. And Dino Abel, Brady's dad, is third base coach for the Dodgers. So once again, a little bit of pedigree there, certainly playing out in front of us. So very interesting draft. High school shortstops, some good pitchers. Be great to follow these guys' careers. I love the draft. It's such an interesting thing to take a quick peek at. I guess I want to quickly finish up looking at my guy Sean Manaea. I know I've been going for a little bit today, but I want to look at Sean's outing yesterday versus the Royals. Mets went with a little bit of a piggyback yesterday, and I didn't get to watch any of this, so I was gone all day. So I'm just going to watch Sean get some outs. Sorry, if I could just operate this device. Sean gets some outs. I know he gets walked off, but it was nice to get Manaea back out on the mound, and I think that's Really important. Hold on, you can see his numbers here from last year. 32 starts, 12-6, 347, 181 2/3. Plus he shoved in the playoffs. They call him the tribal, the spiritual tribal chief. Garrett Holman, he'll be up to Pittsburgh just in time to leave for free agency about Seth Hernandez. I think that's funny, but also fair. This was a guy last year. I mean, this guy's got some of the best vibes in the league, but also the crossfire action that he comes with is super deceptive. And, you know, with him, I don't even care about his metrics at all. I just love watching the way he goes. He upshoots the fastball from the sidearm slot, and then also the changeup. It's a fastball changeup with like a sweeper that I feel like changes every single game, but he finds a way to make it work every single game. Here we get on a run of 6 straight punchies. So here's the fastball up. 94-2, that's good velo for Sean. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of up and away swing throughs against Sean. It's only, like I said, 9.4 vert, but considering the arm slot and the way he hides this ball, guys do not pick it up very well. All right, let's see the second punchy.
Let's get that run home for a little insurance.
Another heater up. Yep, that up and away swing through. Sean's got that spot dialed. Jack Kaggs, my paisan, sweeper. Front door sweeper, jelly legs him. 3 punchies in a row. Lofton. Ooh, little right on right sweeper. Really, it's a 2-speed down. He probably sped him up with the heater before giving him the sweeper. Freddie Fermin. Let's see where he gets him here. This is a much better sweeper. Up, back door. That pitch probably felt like, I mean, let's look where this ball comes out. This is beautiful, because with his arm angle and everything, this ball probably looks like it's going to end up out here somewhere, and then it just sweeps all the way back to the corner, and he's locked up. So that's Sean when he's going good. I don't even think we need to watch the rest of this game. He ends up pitching all the way to the end, gives up 1 run, Mets lose, but getting Sean back is huge. You got the pitch count up to 65. Next one will probably start his next time out there after the break, and we'll be up to 80 pitches. And now the Mets rotation's starting to feel a little bit more whole. We got Senga, we got Holmes, we got Manaea back, Montas is in there. And yeah, the Mets are going to try to run down the Phillies in the second half. So the schedule for the rest of the All-Star break it's a little tough. There's not a lot of baseball to react to. I'm not going to react to the Home Run Derby at all. But I am going to be here the day after the All-Star game. The Magic iPad here, the Mission Control does have the All-Star game, so I'm going to be looking at good matchups. I'll be on the road, so we'll be doing this from the mountains in Tennessee the morning after the All-Star game, and I hope to see you guys then. This has been Baseball and Coffee. This has been a lot of fun, and I'm glad to be back with you guys. Thanks for the chat today, and I will see you in 2 days, because today, yeah, the game should be... Is the game tomorrow or Wednesday? I guess we're going to have to find that out. But I'll be there the day after the break, and I'll announce on social media that I'll be doing it. But I wanted to say thank you for hanging with me today on Baseball and Coffee, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.